Edo, how do I carry my games after winning lane? I always feel useless later on and it feels like I'm getting outscaled. This is a pain point that a lot of people have, and I thought it's a great idea to show you guys a recent game of mine, walk you through my thoughts and explain to you guys how you can manage to get a lane lead, extend that lane lead and win more games on Qiyana. We are playing some true damage Qiyana here. I'm gonna place the Raptor ward so I can track the enemy jungle. And now all I want to do is, I'm playing this Aurora lane, right? And I want to preserve my health. So as you guys can see, I'm kind of walking up to the minions here, pretending that I want to farm, and then she throws out the Q to CS and try to hit me as well. Aurora ends up hitting me here. I take this auto attack intentionally, because I want the wave to shove into me, and if Aurora hits me, the wave will start hitting her. And then my wave doesn't hit her wave, and the wave is bigger, and the wave shoves into me a lot faster. So as you guys can see, right now, there are 3 melee ranged minions alive from the last wave, so now this wave will push into me really quickly. So my entire job right here is to get the minions here and get the experience. So that's why I'm walking up here. As you can see, I'm getting 31 XP of that minion that just died. And now Aurora gets level 2, and I'm aware of the fact that she wants to Q me here, so I W out. And now I'm really just trying to sit back and make sure that I can get all the experience. If you have to drop a minion, like this one right here, just drop it, right? Like, normally I would have to drop it if Aurora plays a bit more aggressively here and tries to punish me, but she didn't, so I was able to walk up and get an XP range. XP range, I would say, is like roughly like this. So, like, if you have to walk into it, that's fine. But yeah, if you lose HP for the experience, I would still like not lose health. So as you guys can see, I'm full HP, which is absolutely fantastic. I walk up to this minion and then dodge her QE. This is what we call a defensive bait. So I walk up to the minion pretending to farm, and she thinks that I will last hit it and tries to punish me on the last hit. But, and this is something you have to use a lot, you want to defensively bait, walk up, walk back, and then you will probably be able to dodge a lot of the abilities that your opponents try to use. Alright, so I'm about to hit level 3 here, and this is where Qiyana really comes online. So 2 more minions here, and then I'll be level 3. 2 more melee minions. I'm just trying to sit back. And now, look at the timing of my Q. So I timed this Q with getting level 3, so now she doesn't know, in theory, that I'm level 3, right? Like, she still knows because it's obvious, and now I can just, like, E onto her, start auto-attacking her. And the way you want to kill people with Qiyana is you want to be holding your Q and your W so you can burst them in the end of the combo. So I auto-attack, 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 and now QW ignite auto. And that's enough to kill. It gives me Treasure Hunter. And now I can just shove this wave, and I'm gonna skip through this a bit quicker. Lee Sin tries to kill me here. This is a really, really bad play by him. The reason is that I'm getting level 4 in a moment. So I can basically just QW EQ him, and my minions will end up finishing the job here. The reason why I went cut down this game and not last stand is because I want to itemize Voltaic. And with Voltaic specifically, it's really good to have cut down, because you are never really down 50% health with the Omni Boots. And usually when I go Voltaic, I also itemize Omni Boots. So that's that. Now, we come back, we have our pickaxe. The first base advantage has been secured. This is your main job as Qiyana. I was able to do it in this game, which is pretty nice. We get our pickaxe and we buy a pink ward. Why do we buy a pink ward? As you guys know, we want to extend our lead. And there are 2 main ways, before we take a look at the sequence, there are 2 main ways how you can extend your lead, guys. Way number 1 is through your lane. Way number 2 is through the map. Now, a lot of people think you have to decide for either or, but you can do both. And the easiest way to do both is by having really good vision set up on one side, so you can lean to that side and not die. Because not dying is the #1 principle for converting your games, okay? So let's take a look at the sequence. I see that my team wants to gank here, so I EQ the Aurora, use WQ auto attack, proc electrocute. I walk up to her here, and then we just basically wait for her to use her E, and then we just auto attack her to death. It's like very simple. Nothing too complicated. Let's skip through this a bit quicker right now. I'm sitting on 400 gold right now. There's no real reason to base, I think. So let's take a look at what we do. My Silas wants to full clear. I'm just shoving this wave, and I think I will be getting a plating, and then I will probably stay a bit longer here. Or I'm taking a reset to get double longsword. This could also be a case. Okay, so for a lot of people, this reset might seem weird. Edo, why are you basing? You are full HP and you are full mana. Well, the reality is that my Silas is about to finish his full clear, and Dragon is up in a minute. And I don't really know if I can find another really good reset window. Plus, I can get 20 AD at the moment, which is quite a lot. And I don't really need push on this wave, because my Silas is full clearing anyway. So this is actually a very, very good tempo reset to buy items. So as you guys can see, I'm pinging the dragon here with intention around neutrals, and I'm getting my double longsword. Now we come back, we are 3-0, I have double longsword, and now all I want to do is I want to extend this lead through the map, right? So I queue this minion here, we continue farming, play it really nice and slow. I ping away the Aurora here so my team knows that she's there. I'm gonna skip forward here a little bit, speed this up. And you could try to trade, but look at the bot lane, guys. The moment you see something like this, where your jungler has finished his full clear, your bot lane is getting shoved in, and there are basically 3 people bot, I can promise you, any player below GM, or like most master players, would just try to trade here, instead of moving towards bot. And you can do that, but honestly, the way you like climb consistently in higher ranks is by playing around your jungler and making it really, really easy for your team to play, right? So I move bot lane here, I have first move, because I have a lead, so I can push the wave. And now you can see that I'm EQing the Lee Sin. I mean, I'm gonna slow this down for you a little bit. So I basically try to EQ the Lee Sin. My Q goes into the Zerido, and we get the kill, and I immediately start walking back mid lane. And this is the way you want to roam. If this play takes more than like 10 to 15 seconds, I can't leave my lane, because then Aurora can shove me in, she gets one plating, and she also gets the wave, right? So if I lose a regular wave, I lose 108 gold, right? I lose 270 XP as well, right? So I lose experience and I lose gold, and it's not worth it to do that for a kill. In this case, it's fine to go for this though, because I can be in time in my lane again. And this is how you want to approach roaming on Qiyana, or generally speaking on mid laners. You don't really ever want to drop a mid lane wave, because the waves are just way too important, and you really don't want to drop them. Now, and by the way, I lose even more than that. I don't only lose 108 gold, I basically lose 120 gold, because I'm giving that for free to Aurora, and she gets these like this as well. So the thing with waves, right, is that it's not only that you lose the resources for this wave if you roam badly, but she also gets them. So it's basically like losing a game of League. You don't only lose 20 LP, you also have to make up for it to get into a positive again, right? Like, you are basically down 40 LP if you lose 2 games, not only 20, because you have to make up for it. And this is kind of how I think about waves as well. Alright, let's move on here. So I ping the Sylas away. Why do I ping Sylas away? There is a dragon up. Edo, don't you want to play Drakes with Qiyana? Yes, you want to play Drakes, but you need to be shoving waves out first. So I go mid lane here, I shove out my wave, and I ping Aurora, she's gone, I think she gets something done bot, it's whatever, but this is a bad roam. Why is this a bad roam for Aurora? Well, look at the mid lane wave. She loses the Ken wave right now. So that's this play happening. I can freely move to this. There is nothing wrong with moving to this. I see this angle on the Lee Sin. I basically Q, so I'm gonna slow this down for you guys. I QWERQ him, which is already enough to kill because I'm 2 levels up. So I QWER auto Q, which is enough to kill. I see that this play is kind of dead, so I go back mid lane here. I grab Ice, I WQ the Aurora, and now let's actually take a look at what happens here. So there is a small angle here to trade with her, I think. So I E onto her face, I auto-attack her again, grab Ice, and now in theory she's in kill range. So if I hit my EQWQ on her with Ignite, she will die. Especially if the passive is gone, right? Like if my Ice Q is resetted. But I'm also sitting on a lot of gold. So what I would have liked to see from myself here is that I don't go for this kill, but that I like try to shove this wave in really quickly and then just look for a reset. So if I try to EQWQ this guy right now and I miss and she gets level 6, I will probably die. I don't quite remember what happened here, but I'm probably going to die because she gets 6 soon. Yeah, exactly right. And this is how you can throw your lead really easy. So there are a lot of like red flags when you look at this. So the rule I have for myself is when I'm weak, I don't want to be looking for plays, right? So when I'm weak, the only play I can make is I can take a reset. Now in this case, you guys can see that I'm sitting on 1.2k gold, I'm half mana, and honestly, why would I make a play right now? It just doesn't make any sense. You just want to go back, spend your gold, get your item, come back on the map, and be strong. So what I should be doing is I should just hit this wave as fast as I can, one-shot the wave immediately, take a reset, get my voltaic, and then move on. But instead, I go for an EQWQ, I end up dying, and it's just terrible. So I come back here, I get boots and double longsword, brutalizer. Let's skip forward here. And now it becomes really, really interesting. So if I press tab now, you guys will be able to see that in a moment. Okay, I pressed tab a bit too quickly there. Maybe I can catch it. Okay, okay, there we go. So I have a tab here, right? And you guys can see that, look at this tab. What would you guys do playing out this game? And this is a question that you really need to ask yourself, right? Would you play for top side or would you play for bot side? What would you do, right? And there are a couple of questions that you simply need to ask yourself. Number one is, which is the next objective that's up? And in this case, that's Drake. And also you have grubs that are spawning in 1 minute, 1 minute 30. I want to play this dragon, right? So I have really good intention around the Drake, and I really want to play this Drake. The reason why I want to play this Drake is because I'm insanely strong. Like, even if my bot lane is slightly behind, if we skirmish together with my Sylas, I'm convinced that we can definitely play this dragon. So what I try to do is I try to ping the Drake, and I try to ping my Sylas that he shouldn't go for this top lane, and that he should, like, full clear his camps and then play the Drake with me. When my ult is up, it would be perfect, right? So I ping my intentions very clearly. I ping the dragon, I ping my Sylas to full clear. He doesn't listen, that's okay. If he wants to make the play, you gotta trust him. It's his decision, right? And he's just going for the top side play here. Let's fast forward here a little bit. And at the moment, I also don't have ult. So I want to play in like 30 seconds, but not necessarily like right now. So I one-shot this wave. Gonna auto-attack it down. The reason why I auto-attack it down is because I don't want to give Aurora time to move on the map. I really want her to have to respond to the wave. I place a Raptor ward. One small detail about placing wards in this Raptor pit is you want to place the wards, like you can see this indicator of the ward, right? So what you want to do, and this is the easiest way to place it perfectly every single time, you want to make sure that this indicator covers this entire thing. So when people actually walk in like this or like that, you still spot them. You don't want to place it too deep because then you have a blind spot. That's just one thing. And if you combine this with the pink ward that I've set up in this bush, it's very, very hard for me to ever get ganked. Like, if I lean towards bot, ganking me is just physically impossible. So let's take a look at what happens here. I'm gonna move forward here a little bit. My Sylas is doing the red buff right now. This is pretty chill. He's going to full clear probably. I'm just trying to stay full HP, not lose any health, dodge our Q, and just try to like one-shot waves and then move with my ult, right? So I move into this area right here, just hovering. And now I realize, okay, I have my Voltaic. So this was actually planned ahead. So the reason why I shoved this wave is because I have my Voltaic. And by the time I reset and come back, my Sylas will be perfectly in time to clear his Gromp, clear his blue, and then be ready for the Drake. So if I skip forward here and I speed this up a little bit, you will be able to see that I get my item, I get Voltaic, which is absolutely fantastic. And now look what happens. My Sylas does his Grump, my Sylas does his blue buff, and now we are just perfectly in tempo. I ping the fact that Aurora is topside very aggressively, makes it basically impossible for my team to die, right? My Ambessa should be pretty safe, and now I'm just grabbing grass. The reason why I want to grab grass is because I'm now hitting the wave to death. I'm not really looking to play on this Aurora, unless she gives me a free window to EQ. And I also know that Lee Sin is topside right now. So I can basically just like try to stay full HP, not lose too much health, sit back, EQ her, and this is the power of Voltaic, right? You can basically bully people out of the lane with like 1 EQ, which is insane. I dodge the Lee Sin Q, or he misses it, however you want to view it, right? And now you can see that I can WQ the Aurora, misses. The reason why I go for that WQ is if I hit, she's like below 50% health. It's pretty disturbing, because this item currently is just disgusting, right? Now, my Sylas invades, and as you guys can see, there is not a single time where I'm leaning towards the side, because my entire jungle is dark. But here I'm leaning towards this side, because my jungle is not dark. So the concept of splitting the map is insanely important, right? Like, the way I want you guys to imagine this is, imagine the side that you want to play around is the side, it's like the promised land. Like, you want to go there as ASAP, and the side that you don't want to play on is usually the side where your ally is losing. That's the side where you have where there's like a bushfire essentially. So imagine there's a bushfire everywhere right here, and you are not allowed to walk into that. That's usually the analogy I give my students, and it helps them a lot, and it helps me personally as well. Like, it's just fantastic. So I QWQ the backline minion here. I wait for my WQ to come up, and then I'm going to WQ the minions, and yeah, or just like hold the wave, whatever. I'm just like sitting back right now. I'm not trying to do too much. My Sylas is currently bot. Now, a lot of people would start moving bot here. And I want to move bot. The only problem is that I have a mid lane wave, right? So instead of moving bot lane, what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna start hitting this wave as soon as I can and as fast as I can. I realize that I'm getting collapsed on by the Lee Sin a little bit, so, I don't want to risk it here. And I realize, okay, the bot lane play is already over. I just have to sit back and do nothing right now. You could be like, yo, Edo, why do you not EQ this guy? The thing is, if I EQ and Lee Sin pops off the bush and I get Aurora ulted, I die. And then I lose my entire lead. keeping your lead is the most important concept when it comes to converting games. You don't want to die ever, right? Now I see that Aurora is currently TPing back, so I'm going to Q this, auto-attack this, and the moment I can one-shot this, I can now take a reset, because I have my boots, right? So I'm taking a safe base, pushing the wave right before reset, I'm getting my boots. Let's skip forward here a little bit. And now I press tab again. So my top side is still winning, my bot side is doing alright, my Sylas is doing alright, and I'm really, really fed. I can basically play on both sides, but since I have really good vision bot side, I kinda wanna play bot. Usually, by the way, if you have a pink ward top side here and you decide to play top, this is a totally viable play, because Aurora, I can't talk, because Ambessa is a really strong champ, and she's currently really far ahead, so playing top side would also be a totally fine call. But I honestly like playing into a Karthus is so nice, because if he dies, that's really chill, because nothing bad can really happen. So now Aurora tries to clear my pink, and it's really important that you defend your pink wards. You can do that in several different ways. You can basically bully her away by simply walking at her, or you can just completely fist her and one-shot her in a full combo because you have full take. Which is also viable, right? So now we can one-shot this wave, the next wave that's coming in. Now I have my Voltaic, I have my Omni Boots, and Aurora is dead for like 7 more seconds. So note that my Sylas is currently walking into this area, so he probably wants to make a play here in this area soon. So I'm just keeping myself ready for it. I don't really want to do too much. Just hitting this tower, getting as many plates as I can, while leaning towards bot side. I'm not hitting the tower standing here, I'm hitting the tower standing there, so I can always walk out like this. Okay, so we hit the tower, we move on, Aurora shows up, I get ulted for whatever reason, I dodge her abilities, right? Like if we go back, you can see that I'm very well aware of the fact that she wants to QE me there, but she just wastes her entire kit here. I'm just gonna Q this, and since I'm low on resources and I'm pretty weak, I should have taken a base here. So I should have given this play, I should have pinged it off, and I should have taken a reset, in my opinion, because I am pretty weak. But then I was like, you know, I'm level 10, I'm still stronger than everyone, they are like 3 levels below me. I could just 100 to 0 someone with an EQWQ. So what I tried to do here is I tried to EQ WQ auto attack or like QWEQ auto the Lee Sin and kill him. It's not entirely enough though, which leads to me dying to the Lee Sin in a moment, which is obviously unfortunate. If I kill the Lee Sin, we 100% win the play, because then I'm still alive and we can go on the Zeri. I think you can imagine it, right? So that was kind of my thought, and this is the easiest way to throw your lead, is by just giving free kills to the enemy team. So that was a pretty bad death, and now if Aurora would be smart, by the way, the moment she sees this, just imagine a world where Aurora ignores the spot play, shoves the mid lane wave, gets like 3 platings and 2 more waves because I died, right? So she would get... I just want to point this out to you guys, because I can also explain the game to you through her lens and explain what she actually messed up. So if you take a look at it, if I miss, like, she would basically get 216 gold if it's 2 regular waves. She would get 540 experience of 2 waves. She would get 3 platings, which is 360 gold. So if you summarize this, you have the situation of her having, I mean, let's just like sum it up, it's whatever. She would get like 600 gold, she would get 540 experience, and she would be same level as me right now, because she can come back, and I lose the stuff that she's getting, right? Like I lose the 2 waves, and I lose the experience for the 2 waves. And this is why waves and roam windows are so important. And I also want to, guys, I just want you to, guys, to see this. Imagine I Q this wave, and I insta-press B. And I come back onto this wave, like early, right? So I have really, really good tempo with a full item, basically with like pickaxe or dirk or whatever, and I have a very easy time playing afterwards. So basically I maximize the pressure I have on the map by resetting earlier, and this is a very, very big mistake that I made. This is normally like a game-ending mistake. This is not how you want to be converting your games. The way you want to convert your games is you want to maximize the time you have on the map while being strong. Alright, let's move on. Obviously, the game is not over or anything, it's just that this is a pretty, pretty bad mistake. We lose a lot of gold, we give them a lot of gold, we lose experience. Thankfully, Aurora is pretty bad, so she doesn't shove the wave. But, yeah. Normally, I should have get punished a lot harder for this. And if this would be like a bit of a higher elo game, I think this was like... I think this was low GM, high master, whatever. Right, like if this was a higher elo game, I would have gotten punished for this very heavily. Okay, let's move on. So, I come back here. We shove the wave. Next objective is the dragon, right? Like you can see that the next objective that's up is the drag. And that's definitely something I want to be playing for. So I shove this wave out, and I insta-move bot, right? Because I see that bot lane is shoved up. I shove the wave really early. And a lot of people ask me, how can I roam without falling behind? Well, what I do here is exactly what you want to do. Look at my wave. Look at how fast I shove the wave, and look at... I'm already here while the wave hasn't even met. And the only way that's possible is by doing something very specific that you can see right here. So I am pushing the wave as fast as possible. So the faster you shove this wave, the more time you have to roam, because the next wave will be further away, right? So what I do here is I hit this wave extremely early. I basically one-shot it immediately, and I move. And I move bot, and we end up getting a fantastic play here. We kill the Soraka, I think. I'm pretty sure. Okay, maybe we don't kill the Soraka. But this is still not a bad play, because we basically get the summoner spells. I EQ the Soraka, I get her ult, right? We continue fighting here a little bit. I'm gonna slow this down a bit. I don't want you guys to get ADHD, so let's play this a bit slower. So how do I actually play this? So I come in here. I should have EQ'd the Zeri. I actually fucked up my E. That's my bad. If I EQ R the Zeri, she just insta-dies. So that was a misplay on my side. The roam itself is fantastic. Just that I misplayed this a little bit. Now I EQ the Soraka. She uses ult. I sit back. We grab grass. The main target for me is Soraka. It's not the Zeri. So I Q Zeri here. And the reason why I Q Zeri is because I want her to think that I'm going on her, and then Soraka will walk into my shroud. It's just a mind game. And now I can auto-attack, WEQ the Soraka. Zeri ends up dying too. Right? And you might be like, Edo, you are dropping a wave mid. Yeah, I am, but I can just take over bot, which is something that you want to be doing. And if Aurora would shove the next wave, it would be nice, right? Now, I QWEQ auto-attack the Aurora here with Ignite. She just ends up dying. I mean, my champion is just really overtuned with these items. So yeah. The way you do this, by the way, is you need to like predict where she's walking, right here. So you want to predict where she's walking, and then you kind of know, okay, she doesn't have vision because she's like just walking into me. Then I QW, you can grab the W inside of your Q in case you didn't know about this, and then you can EQ to finish it off, and then auto attack. So QW EQ auto with Ignite ends up killing the Aurora here. So exactly right, we kill the guy. And now I'm pretty high on gold, right? So what I want to be doing is I want to shove this wave in and look to base pretty soon. I'm gonna skip through this. I get a bit more gold here, so I can probably get my item here, I guess. Yeah, exactly, we get our profane. And now let's pause the game here. So this is what we call a lull state. This is a state where you have time to take a look at what's happening. Where do you want to go? Do you want to play the next objective? Which objective is up? Who's strong? You need to ask yourself a lot of high quality questions. And as you guys can see, you need to have really, really high intention around neutrals. So I see that Herald is up, I press tab, and I'm basically already bot side here. To be honest, I should have pinged the fact that Herald is up, and I should have pinged it off, because I don't want my team to play for it. So let's take a look at how we play out the sequence. So the best way would have been for me, because I don't want to play the Herald. I think Herald is a really useless objective. I don't really think that you ever need to like focus on playing Herald. It's just something that you can use as a fight magnet if you really want to. But if you have a better play, I would highly recommend you to go for the better play. The reason why I'm skipping back here is because I want you to show the map movements here. So Sylas, and these are all things you need to consider, right? Sylas doesn't have his top camps up, but he has his bot camps up. I am going bot lane because there's no other lane I can go to. Mbessa is top, Karthus is mid, so it's my job to be bot lane here. Now, the next thing is that Milio is currently moving into this area. So that means I can create a situation where I can push outside extremely freely with Sylas and with Milio hovering me, which can lead to a lot of really, really good things. Because Karthus will get pushed mid lane, I will get pushed bot lane, and then we have access to this entire quadrant, which is insanely valuable. So let's see how we do this. So I come bot, I realize my Sylas is full clearing, right? I get an E, Profane, Q, WQ onto the Zeri. My champ doesn't deal any damage, by the way. Just a small trade, you know, here and there. Now we end up continuing to shove this. I push this wave in with Profane and my Q. Exactly right. Forward here. Now I'm just trying to poke out the Zeri. Just trying to be annoying, but never really committing because I'm in a 1v2. You always have to respect numbers. Unless they like walk into me really stupidly. So usually you shouldn't get prio here because bot lanes should normally have prio into you. But yeah, in this case, it's kind of okay. So I place a deep ward here because I have time. I shoved the wave before, right? And now I'm really just trying to chill out. Q the Zeri again. The reason why queuing the Zeri is good is because Soraka will actually use her W and lose HP herself. So by trading onto Zeri, I'm actually hitting the Soraka, which is pretty nice. Now I shove out this wave. I Q Profane it. I push it as fast as possible so we can go for a play. Enemy team kinda respects it. My Sylas still goes for it, but I'm really, really far away. So I'm taking a look. I'm hitting the tower here. And then when I feel like we can go for this play, I end up flashing the Zeri here. So the way I play this is I E flash R the Zeri with a Q. I mean, I don't even use Q. Yeah, I mean, my champion is surely balanced. Yeah, I don't even have to use a Q. So I Q the Aurora and then I WQ. I wanted to WQ the Soraka here after Aurora kind of gets out of the way. Didn't really work out, right? So now Katos uses his ult, Soraka dies, and yeah. Now what you guys should be doing here, or what I should have done, is you guys can see that Sylas is up in like 15 seconds. Now the way I want to approach this. Okay, I mean, that was a nice kill. But the way I want to approach this is the moment Sylas is on the map, I want to be on the map as well. So I need to basically press B when he's 8 seconds off getting back on the map, so we are on the same sequence. It's insanely important you do this, right? So I'm looking for a play here, but if this wouldn't work out, I would probably just take a base. So I QW, EQ, profane the Aurora, and I overstay. I absolutely overstay here. Now I'm still overstaying. This is really, really terrible what I'm doing, by the way. And this is a mistake you can kind of. It's okay at the GM level, but if this is a challenger level game and Sylas wants to make a play, we are in a really, really rough position. Like, I usually would want to be on time. It's kind of alright, because my Sylas is now finishing his clear and I'm now coming on the map. So we are not that desynced, but usually if he clears a bit faster, Sylas clears really shit, you should be on the map a lot faster, right? So you can, like, sync up a bit better. So how do you contest objectives? So as you guys can see, I ping the objective really early. I ping it right now. And I don't only ping the objective, I basically ping the entire area here, since I just created a numbers advantage. So how do you win games on Qiyana consistently in the mid to late game? You have to create numbers. And the way you do that is by shoving out side waves, making someone respond, resetting, and then playing on the other side of the map. That means that this person here will push like 2 more waves, because it feels really bad, you probably like know this, to shove out 1 wave and then leave, because then the next wave will like push in again. So you kind of need to push out at least like 2 to 3 waves. My handwriting is beautiful. 2 to 3 waves. And if you don't do that, it's really rough. So that person here will like basically stand there for the next 20 to 30 seconds, and you can use that time to take a reset and move into the top side, which will allow you to have a really, really great time, create numbers advantage, and then you have like a 5v4 on top side, which secures the objective immediately. So the way I approach this is I ping the Herald early. Gonna skip forward here a little bit. I open through mid lane to use the home guards, and then I walk into the jungle here, and I try to get into a position where I have Fog of War. So usually what should happen, right, is my Sylas and I should like walk into this area together, we can invade, we can dive. He goes for a play a bit too early, but you can also have responsibility and you can say, I went for the play too late because I overstayed bot. If I would have been here earlier, that's also an argument you could make. We would have been able to play this a lot quicker. And then the play my Sylas is doing is really, really nice. And since you kind of want to improve yourself permanently and look to like become a better player, this is definitely something I would consider. So yeah, I come in, I use a QW EQ here. I think I WR here to hit. Okay, doesn't really work out. And now I just EQ WQ the Aurora. Doesn't really hit. It's a bit sad that I missed that. And yeah, exactly right. So now Zeri gets hit by my WEQ. We end up killing her. And yeah, I mean, I'm just taking a base here. The reason why I'm taking a base is because of the bot wave. And the nice thing, by the way, about bot lane waves, or side lane waves generally speaking, is if you manage to shove the wave in and make a play, by the time this play is over and you want to go back bot, you have a juicy fat wave that you can collect, which is absolutely beautiful, right? So I come back here, I get my grudge, I go bot, and now take a look at the stacked wave that I can collect. It's just fantastic. So yeah, I go bot lane again, and I continue side laning, right? So you basically have side laning into a very clean objective play, into side laning, into a very clean objective play, into side laning, and that's what you do all game until you have enough resources and strength to end the game. That's all. Like, there's not much more that you have to consider when it comes to playing the mid game. Now I realized that I'm pretty low here. I got hit by a QE here from Aurora, which she played really well, right? She used her Fog of War really nicely there. I tried to heal up here, just push the wave, and I'm not really looking to trade because I have no side lane vision. Like, my entire jungle is basically dark. So I chill out, I see that Lee Sin is coming in. And now I hit a QWEQ on the Aurora, which just completely obliterates her. Disintegrator. So QWEQ Profane. We one-shot the Aurora. And I'm gonna be honest, this is something you can't do with Profane plus Lucidities and Umbral. But the playstyle is just a little bit different, right? So, bro, okay, my bad. So now I see that Lee Sin tries to go on me, so I basically sit back, I dodge his Q, right? We can also play this out in like real time. So Lee Sin tries to Q me here. I dodge his Q. I use a WR to re-angle my ult there and then Q him, which ends up killing him. So pretty beautiful play, honestly. This is something you can play around with, by the way. Like if you W to a side and then R into the other direction, you can actually re-angle your ult because there was no way for me to hit this ult right now unless I like W into that side, right? Just a small niche mechanical thing that you can do. I kind of realized that my Sylas is on his way here, so I walk up. He hits the Soraka, I EQ, I W over, and I don't actually know what happened here. I think I pretty much just entered. So yeah, okay. I basically, like, I'm really unfortunate here. I'm gonna be honest. It was, like, very, very close. So yeah, I say sorry. That's my bad. I was really close to killing them, but it's fine. I mean, we get the dragon. Gonna skip forward here. And now the next thing on the map is the Baron, right? So I pinged the Baron in already, as you guys can see. So I have pings in the chat, and I also have pings on the Baron. So this timer here spawns up, and that allows you to now communicate really freely to your team what you actually want to be doing. So yeah, let's move on here. My Sylas shoves, and I see that there's a play happening mid lane. Exactly. So we go mid lane. We kind of brute force here. At this point, we are so strong that we can just brute force things. I see that Zeri is hitting us. I'm just trying to like get an angle, which is not that easy, of course. So I ER, I hit the Zeri, I Q ignite her, which is not really enough to kill, sadly. I don't actually remember what happened here. Yeah, we just tried to get this tower, I think, with the Kartus. Exactly. And then I see that Soraka is split pushing. I think she's like mentally broken a little bit, which is alright. I mean, it happens. And now there's an angle onto the Aatrox here, so I go bot, I reset after pushing the mid wave. And we auto-attack, Q him, auto-attack, EQ with Profane. Absolutely beautiful. And now I want to be playing this Baron, right? Now a lot of people would actually just leave the wave here and go for this Nash. Now the best way to play this Baron is shove this wave all the way in, get the tower, or like make it crash under the tower so someone has to respond. Then you reset and you go here and then you play in this side, right? And this will also sync up perfectly with Sylas full clearing. So it's like you need to find these angles to create numbers on Qiyana. If you can't do that, it's really, really hard to actually win games, and you will feel super useless. But the nice thing about this, it does two things. First of all, you are always farmed. Like I have 8 CS per minute, or like 8.5 CS per minute, whatever, and I'm extremely strong, right? And you could even have higher CS. If I wouldn't have died and I would have gotten those 2 mid lane waves, I would be at like 220 CS by now. I'm not kidding, it's just objectively a fact. And I would be even stronger, right? So I end up getting this tower here, and now I think I want to shove another wave in order to make someone respond, right? So I sit back here. I'm not looking to fight this Aatrox. I'm also not looking to flash this guy or anything. All I'm looking for is queuing this and dipping out, right? I realized that my team already won topside. So if there wouldn't, like, if the situation would be different, if nothing would have happened here and my team wouldn't already be winning, I would reset right now and go top and play for this. The thing is, though, we are already winning. So I can just stay here and I can actually go for a play. I kind of fucked this up. I don't actually know what happened. I think my ult didn't go through. If I'm being completely transparent. I wanted to ER flash him. But yeah, it's whatever. That was a pretty bad play. So you should hold your flash, obviously, and you shouldn't use it for a 0-6 Aatrox. Flash has so much value, like you can just use it in enemy base to end the game on the spot, and you really don't have to do things like this. So we end up getting a kill on the Aatrox here. We have a lot of gold. And as you guys can see, it's like the waves are always pushed. It's just extremely disgusting for the enemy team to ever make a play because the wave is permanently pushed, right? And that is something that you really need to start doing. Otherwise, it's incredibly hard to win games. And you can just provide a lot of pressure on the side. And if people don't respond, you just get so many towers and plates that you are incredibly strong for a lot of these objective fights, which is something that a lot of people simply don't do. So we end up getting the Baron here, I'm pretty sure. My team kills them. Ambessa and I are playing the Baroness too, which I don't know, like, yeah, it's whatever. We are so far ahead that at this point it doesn't really matter. And now we are just playing it very slow. We are trying to get a really nice angle. So I ER the Aatrox here. We get 2 more kills. I think I tried to kill the Zeri here by Wing over, but I'm not really sure if it works. Yeah, it doesn't. It's okay though. So I W, I EQ. My EQ just dealt 80% of her health, by the way, like just 1 EQ. Just want to say that real quick, just as a small disclaimer, my champion is still very balanced. And now we can essentially just end the game, right? So we end the game, and that's about it. So some things I really want to point out here, guys. So the main important thing that I want to point out is you need to have a really good lane. You need to create a first base advantage. Then you need to decide for one side you want to play on. You want to ward on that side. And always wait for your jungler to play on that side. Ping objectives on that side. And when you roam, use that timer that I told you about. Make sure to not drop any waves. So a bad roam is always if you have to drop a wave for it, okay? And you can only really roam if you push the wave first and you push it really deep. Otherwise, you don't have enough time. So roam windows are extremely small and you need to make use of them. So there are two things you need to consider, right? Like number one, the roam has to be in sync with your wave. This is like the number one thing. And number two, the roam has to be quick. So you don't want to spend a minute on bot lane. You want to go there, flash ult them, get a kill, insta reset, go back mid. And then you are not going to lose any minions. I hope this was helpful for you guys. If it was, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Check out the links in the description where you can find coaching with me or you can join the We Teach League community. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Bye bye. Have a nice one.